This is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. Welcome to Job Search Radio.
Are you looking for a new job or interested in leveling up? Job Search Radio is your go-to resource for insider tips on job hunting and growing your career. Here's your host, Jeff Altman.
Hi, this is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. And welcome to Job Search Radio. It is November 8th. 2016, and finally we're at election day. By tonight we will probably know who the next president of the United States is. Hallelujah. However this election turns out, I hope our country is safe, because this has been absolute madness. Now, with that aside, this show is about negotiating. And whoever the next president is going to be negotiating with the Congress, is going to be negotiating with the American people and with others, and trying to do things to affect change. Here, I talk with job hunters, introverts, and others about easy ways to negotiate. Now, in the show, I also mentioned one of my videos, the easiest way to negotiate a higher salary for yourself. And I'll have a link in the show notes to that video so you can watch that on your phone, mobile device, computer, or wherever. So I hope you find today's show helpful. And with that, let's get rolling. And I want to talk to introverts, but frankly to others, about entering into a negotiation. Because for everyone, negotiation is one of those uncomfortable processes where organizations clearly create the impression that they have an upper hand. And in fact, you have an equal hand in this too. Now, the hand that you have is the ability to say no. At the end of the day, that's incredibly powerful, because that's the final position. It's your choice too. So I want you to remember that as you enter into a negotiation, that you don't have to be steamrolled. You don't have to be manipulated or abused. Everything always starts off with understanding what your value is. And that's the important starting place for every negotiation. Now, how do you determine that? There are any number of surveys that exist that give you a range. But frankly, to me, most of those are irrelevant. I frankly would go onto LinkedIn and reach out to someone who works for that firm in a role that kind of reads like yours and say, hey, look, I'm up for a job at your firm. This is what I do. Your background looks pretty similar. Can I ask, when you joined, how much they hired you for? And you'd be surprised at how often people want to help. So, you need to be able to collect data to substantiate your case. And in the negotiation, if they try to come in lower than that number, say, look, I started polling people in your organization. I found 4 that got hired at a higher level than what you're talking about with me. At least meet that number. So one person said such and such, another one said this. Overall, it looked like an average of about Y. So just very politely, and it has to be done in a polite way, present the numbers to them. That's the research part of this, is knowing what this firm normally pays people, not the entire industry, because those numbers are skewered high and low. And I'll give you an example. You start with Facebook, a former startup firm. In a technology role, it's in Silicon Valley. You start with a company that you have an offer from a company you've never heard of. You look up the salary range for a role like yours. The numbers are skewered. Sometimes they're lower for the startup. Sometimes they're lower with equity position. You need to get concrete numbers. So that's the starting places with your research. Number 2 is preparing and practicing. You need to kind of hit your points that you think you're going to want to address in the course of the negotiation if they come in with a number that's off. So practice is so important in this process, and it's ideal if you practice with a practice pal, with someone that can give you feedback on how it sounds listening to you. You don't have to look at them. because if this is a phone negotiation, you're not going to be seeing them. But do you want to understand how you're heard? That's the important thing. How are you heard? Now, if it's by Skype, you want to see them because they're going to see you. But you need to prepare and practice what you're going to say. And lastly, and this may be the hardest of all, in the practice, in the preparation, I hope you overcome your fear of asking. Now, this is true of anyone. This isn't just an introvert problem. A lot of people are afraid to ask for what they deserve. Part of that is lack of preparation. Part of that is lack of research or some combination of both. But you need to be willing to ask the questions to insist upon what you want and be prepared to walk away if you're not happy. Now, before just spontaneously doing that, I want to encourage you to say something to the effect of, I'd like to think about our discussion before coming to a final decision. I'll be back to you tomorrow. I just need a little bit of time to consider. You may stick with the same decision that you make in the course of the conversation. You may change your mind. You're entitled to do both. But I want to have you ask for a little bit of time. Now, they may say, so what are your thoughts? I'm not sure. I have trade-offs here, and I have to kind of weigh both of them. In a case like that, I want you to consider that pause in there that doesn't give them anything other than you're reluctant to say yes. And thus, when you come back and come back to them the next day, as you promised, I want you to watch my video called The Easiest Way to Negotiate a Higher Salary for Yourself, where I go through a method that is very, very gentle, that encourages them to increase the offer without making any threats. Now, the first part of the video, is at the time that you get the offer. So that may not be relevant here. The however is, I want to encourage you to watch that video, pull out the parts that are relevant, practice, and I'm sure it'll wind up being helpful. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful, and if you did, I really want to encourage you, join me at JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. That's my site where I have great information that you can watch, listen to, or read to help you find work more quickly. All my books and guides to job hunting and resume writing are there. You'll receive discounts on one-on-one coaching for extended sessions. And if you prefer not to do that and just ask me questions, you can ask me questions through the site, and not only will I answer, but you get the input from other people as well who are members of the site. Again, that's JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. Come on over and join. I hope you found today's show helpful and hope you have a great day. Take care.
If you would like to have Jeff give you advice about your job search, you'll love JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. This site has all of Jeff's books and guides to job hunting available free. The ability to have Jeff answer your questions, plus podcasts and videos that'll help you with all the different parts of a job search, including writing a winning resume and cover letter, great answers to interview questions, how to negotiate effectively, whether you want an easy way or want to get tough, plus a community of people like you who you can get advice from. The site again is JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. That's JobSearchCoachingHQ.com.